So, you want to learn how to stream live 24/7 on YouTube? You've come to the right place. But you got to deal with my morning chores first, and then we'll be right back. Before I get into the morning chores, I know everybody's crushed for time. So if you're interested in just getting to the meat and potatoes of this video about how to stream live, fast forward to this timestamp here, and then I'll skip the morning chores and all the farm stuff that you probably don't care about. Ah, I lost my pen. Dropped it. It's a big launch of our website today, and I had to count a little inventory before that launch goes out Mother's Day. By the time you saw this, Mother's Day is probably already passed, but yeah, I had to do that for us, count some inventory so Mom can launch on the website, get the barns done, and then install this new camera. It's exciting because this is going to be, I think, the most exciting view that the village, do you know what the village is? So let's take a minute here. The village is basically anybody that watches our stuff. That's it. It's not about memberships. It's not about Patreon. It's not about all that. It's not about whether you buy our products or not. It's, are you a part of this community? Let's go do House of Pie. Then we'll get to wiring up a camera after the morning chores are done and breakfast and all that stuff. Once Liz is on her projects, which she has to design new labels for soap and stuff like that, and I can get back out here to install that new camera, we'll talk tech. Hello, goats. I know I'm early. Getting the day moving. It's Monday. I think it's a Monday. Yeah, it is a Monday. For a second there, I didn't remember. Okay, that's for Poppy. This one's for, I think, you two, come on here. Alright, I'm gonna lock you in so you don't run away. Okay. Alright, Poppy, you stay right there. Woo! Oh, we gotta get more hay in this barn. We'll do that later. Ah. Poppy, you done? Drop the clippers. All right, come on, Pops. Come on, Popsicle. I think she's done. Man, why is this so cold? 40 degrees. Yes, 40 degrees right now is cold. Okay, that barn's done. Off to the next one. Trying to open the door. Stella, come on, let's go. Stella, that's a cat. Leave it alone. It's our indoor cat. Yes, our indoor cat, which just decides to come outside a lot, which is good. You have to change the litter box less. So he's now an indoor-outdoor cat. Past the greenhouse, past the store. Uh-oh, about to step into mud where we're trying to grow grass. It's not going so well. Ducks and chickens. Pigs are over that way. Yep. Now into the big barn. where we stream live 24/7 and have been for like 2.5 years, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Good morning, girls. I know it's early. Oh, you know what? It's not gonna work. Okay. Let's go get some water over here. I actually broke the hose. Don't worry, we're gonna get to the whole live streaming thing. Remember that timestamp that we talked about down there? That's where you should go if you don't care about pigs and ducks and chickens and water and goats and all that kind of stuff. Just fast forward to that spot. I think I even have it in the description down below. So I broke this yesterday, trying to, my splitter. I was pulling on the hose, yanking on the hose, trying to get it over the barn. I snapped the splitter. I already grabbed a new one this morning when I had to go get alfalfa. So now we're all hooked up. Go give the goats some water, check on the pigs, and then talk about live streaming. Pigs are over here. We'll just let the water fill. Pig race? Little piggy race? Huh? They're not 100% on the water nipples yet. They use them, just not as much as I'd want them to use them. So I give them a little in their buckets, so they know. And they can drink some water out of the bucket, but then also squeeze on these auto nipples to get water whenever they want. Good job, piggies. All right, I'll come see you later. Oh, did you just poo? I think you did. No, I think that one just pooed. Back to the water over here. Back and forth. Back. I get a lot of steps. I wonder how many steps I don't get to 10,000 a day, maybe 9,000, 10,000, something like that a day. I don't count them anymore. All right, this is it. We're done talking goats, doing farm stuff. We're gonna move on to tech after I go help Liz. I'm back. I'm gathering all the tech and some tools because not only are we gonna talk about how to go live 24/7, but we're gonna actually put up a camera and install it. Possibly not the whole portion of this video will have all of it, but it'll have most of it. So make sure you subscribe and follow, and we'll get to the rest in a little bit. So this fourth camera we're adding, yes, we have 4 live cams on the property. 1 in that barn behind us over there, and 2 in that barn way down there. 1 outside, 1 inside. And today, I just got you stuck on the fence. We're mounting one up on that big pole right there to look out over the pasture out there. The one we're installing today is in here. Let's go talk tech. All right, so you want to go live 24/7. Maybe with your turtle or your fish, or maybe even your puppy dogs, who knows? That's better. So you need a camera. Couple different ways to stream live 24/7 on YouTube, and we've tried almost all of them. I gotta gather some stuff. We're gonna put it right here. All right, here we go. So in the beginning, when we started, we were streaming live from a cell phone. On YouTube, click the live button, let it go, prop it up on a tripod, plug it in, and just go. Just let it run. That was option number 1. Then we graduated and we moved to what's called a Mevo camera. Link in the description below, possibly an affiliate link, and attorneys make me say stuff like that, because if you click that link, you don't pay more for this guy. Amazon just gives us a little cut, a couple dollars. But here it is, the Mevo, M-E-V-O camera. This is the Mevo Start. We went through 3 different versions of their cam. Not a bad camera. It has to pair with your phone via Bluetooth, and your phone and the camera have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. Not the whole time, just to get it started and set up. So in our case, you can go out to the barn, mount this camera on some type of tripod setup, have it run 24/7, full power, plug it in, start it up with your phone. There's a neat little app that they make. They make it actually really simple. It integrates with your YouTube channel. It's super easy. You don't have to be technical to really figure it out. And then once it's up and live, you can leave the barn, but you can't control the camera anymore. You can't do anything remotely. You can't be out of town. You can't be in your house and like change the angle or change the volume or do anything. You have to go back to the barn and be within Bluetooth range in order to change any settings. In our case, that's at least how it worked for us. I know they have an update coming, possibly where you can control it remotely from somewhere else, but I don't know because we don't use it anymore. We actually use this on this new fancy like metal cage is what it's called. And it sits in here for our virtual goat snuggles. So when we go live and people want to pet goats virtually from around the world, we mount it in here. One cell phone sits up here so we can watch chat, because let me tell you something. The most important part about going live 24/7 is the community. The community is what it's all about. You gotta be part of the community. You can't just throw up a live camera and let them all beat each other up and chat. It doesn't work. I mean, some channels have done it and they've grown and they've gotten big, but it all depends on what you wanna do. If you wanna get a huge channel and just let people beat each other up and not like the place, you could do that. Or you can create a nice community where people, like to hang around, moderate your chat. Either you moderate it or find somebody else that really wants to be a part of something bigger, and they can help you moderate. Our moderators are amazing. We'll show you a little more of the behind the scenes chat type stuff in a little bit. My wife is amazing at all that. I am barely in chat. I can barely spell the word chat, so I don't spend time in chat really that much. So this is our live portable setup. So the camera connects to Wi-Fi from the barn or from the store in here. This phone allows us to read chat, and we usually put another phone here that's connected Bluetooth to this camera that allows us to zoom in and zoom out on the picture, change the volume, and just make sure the picture that's going from here to YouTube is good. That's option 1. We did that for years, a year and a half almost, before we started going hardwired. So the first camera we launched, I'm actually opening this one brand new. We haven't installed this one yet because we ended up with a backup camera. Because we are live 24/7 and our community relies on these cameras, you know, there's people out there that just, they need that mental health break. So we've dedicated even backup equipment to never go down. We go down, we'll get it fixed. So we have a backup camera here. I'm not gonna go through like an open boxing because I'm just gonna rip everything out of here. That's what I'm gonna do. This is the RLC 5-22. Again, description below from Reolink. They don't pay me for this. We bought this with our own money, or to be honest, one of our villagers in chat, one of our awesome villagers. If you're not part of the village, I think I talked about it, just follow us, hit the subscribe button, hang out, watch our stuff. You become part of the village. So I'm not gonna peel that off, but this is the Reolink RLC 5-22. That's important because not all of the Reolink cameras will do what we need. So this camera has a whole bunch of wires on the back, but in our case, we use one. That wire right there, that's it. That's your internet cable, and it's not focusing, but the internet cable, or what we call in the tech world, an RJ45. So it's just an Ethernet cable. It looks like this, right? It plugs in here, and then the magic happens. Do you have a router that can do what's called PoE? PoE stands for Power over Ethernet. In other words, when you mount this camera in your barn or near your fish or whatever you feel like streaming live 24/7, do you have power there? And in the barn, we don't have power everywhere. If you do, you could plug in here. They don't even send you one. They don't even give you one. You could plug in here and supply power to the camera with a regular 110 volt outlet if you don't have PoE, but I guess you have to order that separately. I don't know, you'll have to look it up. In our case, our router has PoE. Now we don't use regular consumer grade equipment. Let me show you something real quick. So commercial grade equipment, we're running HP commercial grade PoE. So meaning all these ports supply power to whatever on the other end. So I don't have to run power out to these cameras. I don't need an outlet right next to them. Okay, there you are, you're back. All right, so that's an awesome little camera. The inside Cassie Castle camera and the inside House of Pi camera are both running this guy. So it could get a little wet. It could get a little dust on it. It is IP67 rated, I think, which basically means it can get it can handle outdoor weather. Now it's recommended that you mount this underneath like a porch, not direct rain on it and direct wind and stuff. It has a microphone, so you can use audio on this, which I highly recommend because the audience likes audio. So that's that. The camera we're gonna mount today, which you're gonna kind of be a part of, to actually have to wire back into that router you just saw. We don't need all this stuff. We don't need all that right now. We don't need this anymore either. This is the big boy. This right here is the RLC 423 5 megapixel. This is the big boy. So this is the outside House of Pi camera, which now is gonna be the outside Cassie Castle camera. Like hurricane proof, weather resistant, weather proof, can literally rain on. This can get mounted on a pier near your boat in the middle of nowhere. If you own a pier and a boat in the middle of nowhere, you can mount this thing. Again, PoE, so power over Ethernet. We're gonna plug in that line there, and we're gonna run that all the way back to our router. It's the only cord we need to dig a trench. We need to run it from the pole all the way down and back to the router so we can get the data feed on here. Now this one actually has an extra port here, which I think is for audio, but I'm not exactly sure what that's for. I don't use it. And the other one's for power, but again, we don't use that either. We just use PoE. We hook that up and we run power back to the router. Once we have it on our network, it's super simple. You can learn this all from Reolink. I'm just giving you a little high level. In the app on the phone, you can scan the camera and then the camera shows up on your phone in your network. That's when you get a very specific piece of information you need, which is what IP address is this camera broadcasting under. It's now time to go mount this and then run some wires. And then after that, we'll show you the heart, the soul, the center, not the soul. The soul is Liz and the community. But we'll show you the center of, like, the brain of the whole operation in a little bit. Let's grab our tools and go mount this thing. This is gonna be super cool. And of course there's like no goats outside. Wire nail hook thingies just to clean it up. Remember, this is going to be in all severe weather with zero protection. Move a little closer over here. So we're gonna go around the back. We're gonna come down the pole, under the gravel, around the back, into the building here. We'll catch up with you guys after that part's done. This is the hard part. Got a hole on the outside of the building and a hole on the inside, but I don't know if they line up. We gotta get the wire from the outside to the inside so we can plug it in. And we had a couple goats escape. I don't know if you saw it earlier in the time lapse. A couple goats made it into our patio and pooped out our Adirondack furniture. It's okay. We're almost wired up. That's where we get inside and talk about the hardware to software side. So the confusing part of this setup is it gets more technical, it gets a lot more stable. We've had one run for over 2 months without ever rebooting it, but you need more equipment. That's the problem. You need the camera, you need a computer, highly recommend a dedicated computer to run it. We have a dedicated i5 running 3 cams, and that's obviously an investment. And now we're gonna put a 4th cam on it, and it's probably, unfortunately, not gonna be able to handle it. So we're gonna give it a shot. The GPU could be upgraded, the memory could be upgraded. We were running it dedicated off of a laptop for a while, but that laptop was about to overheat. So you need OBS, you need a laptop or a computer, you need OBS, you need the camera, you need it all on the same network, all wired up. We got the wire going underground, we got it into the building, we got it hooked up to the router, which remember, that's the only wire we need. It powers it and feeds data. We do have to patch up some holes later. We're gonna spray it with some spray foam. Actually, you know what? Let me go get that now before we forget. Actually, change of plans. I'm not gonna do that now because when I open the spray foam can, I'm gonna wanna use the whole can. So I'll have to find other places I can use it. And I don't know where yet. So we'll get to that in a minute. I think I have somewhere else. So the next step is on the phone. Okay, so right here, right? There's the picture. We gotta go up to here, and then we gotta go to display. Okay, I'm not gonna get super nerdy, super technical. The old closet turned to YouTube command center. So video comes from cameras to that designated computer that runs OBS, and here it is. All 4 cams. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that IP address we talked about is what puts each camera on different screens. And as you can see, now that we're running 4, the CPU of that computer is starting to get a little upset. 64% is a little high. The GPU, the graphics processing unit, is pretty much fried. Not fried, but it can't keep up. And the kids can still get their jackets out of the closet. Then from there, that video goes up to YouTube. So we're now in the back end of YouTube trying to launch a new live stream. And if you notice, we have no video coming in, right? The camera's not sending video here. So that IP address and your stream key have to know what each other are talking about. And if you notice stream key's blacked out, it won't even show me. So I'm definitely not gonna show you. And I even blacked out a couple things that you guys don't need to see. But from here, I have to take that stream key and put it over in the other computer in the closet so that video talks to this software. And then from here, I can come all the way over here and hit the live button eventually. We now have video coming from the streaming computer over to YouTube. So YouTube now knows what video to pump out. We have our logos and our overlays on it, which is all done on that streaming computer. And then it's asking us, do we want to go live? So if I go live now, the whole community is going to know that we've just launched a 4th camera. Okay, we're in the command center. We've got inside House of Pi, outside House of Pi, inside Cassie Castle, and we're about to launch outside Cassie's Castle. For the first time, here it goes, go live. It's spinning, it's going live. People from this cam, this is our popular cam, the inside one. You can see the chart as to when people watch, when they don't. Outside cam of House of Pi, they watch in the morning during chores and then they don't. And then inside, same thing. It's all like when things are happening, but here we go. This just went live. Okay, they're starting to file in. There's 64 people there. There's 100 and something people there. Only 5 there and 22 there. It's quiet. It's the middle of the day. Let's head outside for a minute. Before we do that, I wanted to check the server. And it's running. It's running okay. If you notice, we've got green lights in the bottom of each corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cams are up and running. CPU is still sitting at 67, but GPU is screaming like, help me, upgrade me, I'm weak. It's a really, really tiny GPU in that thing. Yeah, the live channel, it'll be on here on the end screens. Check it out. We just broke 20,000 subs. Our next goal is 50,000, and we probably have some surprises and a party planned, or we already had the party, who knows. But it's not easy. Streaming live 24/7 is not easy, but it's super rewarding. We love it. We love our village. Join the village, hang out. We'll talk to Liz about live streaming at some point. This was more of a technical video, but we'll talk to her about the emotional side and how rewarding it is, but also how hard it could be at some point. Technically hard, emotionally hard, but it's worth it. Join the ride. We're just getting started. Haha, and the hole I made that we didn't use. What the heck, we'll hit this one too a little bit. Alright, this one can use a little more. Alright, once it dries, we can cut it off and paint it. Let's see if there's anywhere else while we're here. Oh my gosh, that's bad. We're not gonna fix that today.